Today we're going to get through the winter on the oil challenge and figure out exactly how much money we're going to have to do some expansions. This last year has really taught us that we're nowhere close to having enough fields to get enough yield of canola and sunflowers. So it's going to be a very important winter and some super important decisions to be made. Right now we're driving to the co-op because we overbought some liquid fertilizer, and I did notice that they do purchase it back. So I'm hoping this will get us enough to make our line of credit payment for the month, which we see here is $7,095, and we are $5,000 short of that right now. All right, with those sold, we are now sitting at $9,198. We're gonna get to November, see if there's anything for us to do around the farm. We could prep some fields, but I think we might be already at the point where we need to wait till spring for that. So we'll be looking at the market, seeing how prices are fluctuating and when they're in a good spot for us to start selling. And hopefully we can make enough money in November, with that being the case, to make that payment as well. But time will tell. We need to double check that we have propane going on the grass drying, because that's going to be some good money for us, and we want to make sure that that keeps progressing. I'm trying to avoid selling things before peak price just to maximize money this year. And this is getting ridiculous. We've got to get out of this tent soon. Canola prices are looking like they are above peak, so we are going to figure out how to sell those today. I should say figure out how to get them out of the production, the logistics distribution center. So let's head on over there, learn a little bit about that. So we're gonna make some cash here in November, and we still should have some canola being produced. So a little surprised. It peaks in, you know, the game says, or the map says, that the prices peak in December, but they seem to peak a month early in my experience. I'm wondering if we could go a little bit later in the day and get that price a little bit higher, but we might do that after we get these out of the distribution center here. And then I think this is what we push, but let's go ahead and, well, let's look at this, because I think this is a little silly here that we changed it to 5,000 a second. Unselected. Oh, 5,000 looks like the slowest. I think that's what we wanted, because I did test this before and they just came out way too fast. So let's take a look here. We want to find our canola oil, and it is storing. We want to change this to, oh, I don't know, because we don't want the lettuce to come out. Allow pallet spawning. Okay. Oh, look at that. And now the lettuce is coming. Okay, that's not what we wanted. And how high is this gonna stack? Okay. So now I think we want to hit this button again. Okay. Interesting. I gotta be missing something. I guess if we come in here, manage production point, if we would have set lettuce to distribute, it wouldn't have anywhere to distribute. So I'm gonna try and get all the lettuce put back in here, and just to kind of test this out. So the auto loading was pretty slick, but let's go ahead and see if we can do this now. Let's go over here. Let me in. Okay. So we also have sunflower oil. Let's go find that. And let's change this to distributing. And now we have lettuce and sunflower oil for distributing. Let's see if that does limit it to just canola oil this time. That seemed to do the trick. I guess that would be a problem if there's somewhere else for them to distribute. But I think what we're going to do here is check the prices now. And once this starts dropping, the distribution center is us, so that doesn't really count. But I'm going to skip a little bit of time, see what happens, and maybe get a couple more pallets in here. Maybe at least one, since we have 877. Yeah, pretty good. Right now, you're looking at 52,000 liters, whoops, of canola oil for a decent payday today. And then while that's running at 120, let's run over here and see how much more canola we have to go through. Yeah, still 29,000. Sunflowers, 74,000. Pretty awesome. Those seem to be going in parallel. The numbers are going up at exactly the same time, so I think that's good. We did get that extra pallet, so I think I want to... Yeah, let's go ahead and activate that again. Pretty fancy. I do love that feature. All right, and prices are officially starting to dip. So we'll head on over to the co-op, get these sold, and see how much we're going to make here in November. It's going to be a pretty exciting year. It's our first time selling oil. Oh, maybe, I can't remember. I think this is the first time. Maybe we sold a little bit last year. And I think it's right here, if I remember. It's been a little bit. So that was $315,913 for our first full year of oil. Not terrible. And it was 52,000 liters, which is well below a million. I don't think I need this anywhere but here, so I'm going to leave the trailer here. And we're going to take a look at a few things now. In time-saving stock check, we still have canola oil, which I guess we produced another 483 liters, but we'll leave that for now. The dry, that's what I wanted to check on. The dried corn showing $186,000 with 93,000 liters. Did that finish or run out of propane? Ran out of propane with a little bit of corn left. So let's, for now, let's go ahead and deactivate that. And then looking at sunflowers are in March, so maybe February, we'll get to sell those. Lettuce is going to be January, but the dried corn's probably going to be next month. So let's go ahead. We'll leave this here, and we will grab the 8R and the tank. And we're not going to get a lot of propane, just a little bit to get us by. But we'll go get that from the co-op, get this production back up and running so we can finish drying that corn, because we're going to need to sell that very soon. And this is pretty pricey, so I want to be a little careful with how much we buy here. That was, yeah, let's get about 2,000 worth, 2,000 liters worth. So that did eat about $6,000, but we're going to generate way more than that in dried corn. Just trying to be careful with this, and before we do make it December, we will look at that line of credit and see if it makes sense to pay a decent amount of it off, or if we just wait till we have enough to pay it off completely. I believe we're sitting somewhat high on that. But I do, yeah, we're gonna drive by and see if they've harvested the corn yet on that property we were eyeing, because if we can pull that off to get some more corn, even if we don't have time to dry the corn, it would be a lot. I mean, we potentially could pay for itself depending on the shape of the field, but be a moot point if it's already harvested. It is not. It is not. Okay, ready to harvest. Let's crunch some numbers. So with the line of credit right now, we have 300. We're gonna max this out. We're gonna do it. 357,860. That gives us a balance of 667. If we come in here now, we are 20,000 short. Okay. All right. I think we know what we need to do. It is late in November already, and if I remember right, as we add the propane in here, if we look at the calendar, we can go into December harvesting corn on this map. So let's take a look at time-saving stock check and see where we can find that 20,000 without losing a ton of money. So what I'm gonna do is try to get just a little bit of lettuce. So we'll change this. Actually, we come over here and do that. Oh, there's the button. I will change lettuce to storing, and then I will enable this for a second. See if I can see both at the same time. Oh, it's still going. It's still going. Okay, so that's unfortunate, but how many did we get here? 18. That's way too much. But you know what? It'll get us by, because we are going to need to make that payment as well after maxing out that loan. So let's sell this. The rest of it we will sell when the price is peaked, and I think this is a smart investment, because we're gonna spend some money and hopefully relatively quickly get that line of credit paid off and have more land and have a house to move into. All right, and selling those 18,000 brought in 53,000, so we definitely have enough to clear. All right, let's make a phone call, get a new property, and get to harvesting. Oh, look at all these new things that showed up. Drying bins, nice. So we do have the ability to dry corn. It is a different dried corn than this one. Does take propane as well. So we will finish this. Let's activate that. And then we'll figure out what we're going to do long term. But I have a feeling, we talked about it, we're going to get some money from selling this property, but we got some repairs to do to it. And we'll definitely be moving in today, getting all our equipment moved over there. But first thing's going to be this harvest. Just kind of letting our grain cart operator get there in front of us. It's nice to say this is ours. We'll take a deeper, closer look at it here when we get done with the harvest. But I believe this is the route. Yeah, this is the route we want to take. Header lowered, get this all activated. And get into the field, start working on this first headland here. It said 67% yield bonus, so it won't be the best yield that we could get out of this field, but it is another field to our name that we're going to be able to make a lot more canola or sunflowers with. Nice shed there. Yeah, we're going to have to learn all these buildings because we might take advantage of them and get some of the animals that belong over here to make this look good. You know, we want to actually run a farm, not just focus on oil, because that's more fun in my opinion. We're in the back of the field here. There's quite the incline here, so I was kind of interested to see how the harvester is going to handle this. You know, looking at it in cab view. The green line messes it up. I need to fix that, guys. I need to get that mod going. But yeah, 4 miles an hour. That's not terrible to get through that. Down to 3. Just worried about it here at the top, but it seems to be holding on. Powering through it. Nice. That works. I love the extra scenery we're going to get around here with this farm. No Creek Farms, you did great with this farm. The detail is amazing on those barns and those sheds. All right, let's keep busy. We're 50% full. I don't think we'll make it around the headland completely, but the grain cart operator should be able to help us out. This seems like a nice open area to be able to call the grain cart operator. We're 92% full, and we're gonna have to open the big map to make sure they're driving over here. I reused a different course, so we might need to do a little bit out here to get it to work, but I have somewhat of a feeling they'll be able to at least get here. It's exiting the field that they might have problems, so we can see them in the background. They are heading this way. Beautiful. All right, not bad. Get unloaded for the first time here, 22,000 liters. Pretty good start. And gosh, while we're doing that, let's take a look at what that payment just jumped up to. Hopefully it's really short-lived, but it is 12,000. It looks like we do have $1 we could draw. No, it's just probably a UI issue there. Limit, yeah, looking good. Net worth is still at 2.5 million. Not bad at all. Starting to get dark. We'll get as much as we can done today, and we might finish this harvest in December. We'll see how it goes. This map does get super dark, so harvesting isn't super enjoyable, and it's definitely not going to work on YouTube. I'll keep you guys updated, and I'll see you in a few. I didn't even realize we have $93,000, so that discount, the value shows not the current value you pay for, but the actual full value, and then we did get a 10% discount. That's why we have $93,000. So we didn't need to sell the lettuce. Oh well. Oh well, just wanted to clarify why we still have money. Well, we're back at it in December here. The sun is rising. We're going to fill the grain cart up and let them head back to the dryer. Let's check the propane on that overnight. It did go through all the corn. We're about to send some over there. We have a little bit left. While we're making sure we're safe here. Canola, we could sell a little bit more today, and we probably will. Dried corn it's on its way up, so we'll keep an eye on that. But we got a lot to get through still to finish getting through the month, or the whole winter today. Let's let our grain cart operator do their thing there. Hopefully they don't run into any problems, but we're gonna do this whole back area here, get this harvested, and then get back to the rest of the field. But figured we just get the awkward part here out of the way, and hopefully they relieved us enough to finish this area so we don't have to wait too long before they get back. But yeah, 72% full still. Like I mentioned last episode, it might be time to start getting a little bit more equipment to help us with these harvests. So the last thing I want is these to take forever. And we were able to finish this little back area without filling up, so that's nice. Still a little bit of capacity. So let's get the grain cart operator out here, and hopefully they don't run into anything. I did update the auto drive course, but there was still a little issue that I was having with some invisible objects that they're running into. So doesn't look like they're heading this way yet. Go ahead and finish getting this full. And we're getting to the ups and downs here. You can see the grain cart operators trying not to get stuck and make his way back to the dryer. Going good. Just got to get these ups and downs done, and then we can check on prices again, get some more things sold, get through this winter, and figure out our plans for spring. And a little bit of an update here. Going good. We're getting unloaded on the run here, on the go. We're doing some lands to make it easier to unload. Just everything to the right to go, and this one pass to the left. Looking pretty solid. Got plenty of time left. I have been keeping an eye on the prices of the dried corn, and it does not peak yet, so we're not losing any income. Got that the grain cart is full. They should head back and unload it, and hopefully be back in time to unload us so we can keep rolling. And we have finished the harvest. We're going to go drop off this 15,000 that we have in the combine ourselves, and then check on those prices. It's time to make some money. But before we do that, we're going to take a look at our yield. It was 151,000 liters. This was only a 67% yield bonus, so that we should get a decent amount more on corn. You know, other crops are going to be different, but 100-some thousand liters in here. We are just about out of propane, so I think what we're going to do is get a little bit more propane after we unload this. And then looking at time-saving stock check, we still have a little bit of time. It might actually be January when that price gets to where it needs to be. All right, let's do a little bit more this time. We'll go up to about 4,000 there. That's $12,000 worth of propane. We still have $67,000, so we're good. And I think this is going to be enough to get us through the rest of that corn, but you know, we'll keep an eye on it. All right, that propane's getting deposited, so this thing should be back up and running. One thing I want to look at, let's go ahead and take a look at this real quick. We have on here, it shows January peaking at 1900. So it is the dried corn. There's two different types on this map, or because of the mods I added. So this is showing June is the peak. So does this one. So what do? What do we do? We're going to see if it gets to that $1,900 amount here in a little bit. And then I also wanted to take a look at the other production and make sure we still have, we have plenty of canola, because we still have 69,000 canola in here. And kind of looking at when dried canola peaks. Yeah, I think what we're going to do is turn that on as well and get a decent amount of money in that, because right now a time-saving stock check is going to show dried canola is on its way down. But I think we can get a little bit more money from that quicker than we can. Well, the dried oil's a lot better. Let's deactivate that. Let's stop being silly here. At this point, we need to get this 8R hooked up. And I think now that we have that combine that has a higher pipe, I might head into the dealership and see about getting an upgrade on this trailer while we kind of wait for prices to get a little bit better and some more corn to dry, so we can get a little bit more capacity here. And we'll double check it when we get back with the height of the pipe, but I think it's worth the upgrade. All right, let's go ahead and customize this. And the extension is only $5,000. And just kind of taking a look at what we got from that 46 compared to 30. Yeah, I think that was definitely worth it. So we added a 16,000 liters per load here. And now that I look at this, it might be a little too tall, but we'll check. All right, pulling over here. The height is concerning me a little bit, but let's open the pipe. It phases through it. Now, is that always the case? So we might be okay. And, you know, next time we harvest, if that becomes an issue, we can find out then. But we can start loading this up so we have the first load ready. All right, we're gonna have to deal with it being dark. Prices are pretty good. Oh, I took regular corn. Who was gonna tell me? Hopefully that didn't cause the production to slow down, but oh, I'm glad we noticed. Did notice we ran out of propane again. So that is burning through it pretty good. But the 53,000 liters of corn left, we might leave that amount till June to sell and see if those do peak twice a year, which would be awesome. But 46,000, it's going to be a lot of trips here. Start getting that dollar amount up, and we will start checking on the lettuce price pretty soon. We haven't seen any snow yet this year. Pretty lucky about that. But selling some corn for the dried corn for the first time here. Watching that dollar amount skyrocket. Love to see it. Hopefully we can get out of debt here pretty soon. Yeah, 89,000 per load. We got, I think, 3 more to get. So this is pretty awesome. Let's go get some more of that corn. The dried variety. Load number 2. The sun is coming up real nice for us today. Brantner's working great too. And we are now up to 226. And then there was 315. Now there's going to be 2,000 left in here. And I think I'm just going to leave that for June when we do sell the rest of it. Because we are going to have, you know, the 53,000 turning into corn as well, or dried corn. So I think we'll do that. We'll hold off till June. It'd be nice to make a decent amount of money in the middle of the year. Yeah, and the last little bit of dry corn, not a little bit, it's a full load, but this should get us up to about 400. Maybe a little higher than that. Yeah, 403. All right, so we're going to move some canola around next. Haven't checked on the prices of lettuce yet. I have a feeling that's going to be closer to nightfall when that's good, but we definitely should be getting out of debt today. Well, we still got to move into our new place. And before we start paying off debt, one thing I do want to look at here is we're definitely going to be planting more canola. Unless I missed that window this year. Yeah, canola is July or August, September. So we'll be doing more sunflowers for sure. We need to figure out how we're going to do that. So I think half the fields are going to wait till fall to get planted, but that's still an issue here because we have a lot. So let's go in here and see what an upgrade looks like. 264,000? Hold on. We might be going to the other plan here. I don't know if we're going to use those upgrades because if they cost that much, that's just crazy. I want to see what the original 240 is the regular price. Okay, so we do upgrade that. It was just a little bit more and it should be burning through these a lot faster now. Now I wish this told us the level we're on. Oh, it does say 2 right here. Okay. Upgrade, not enough money. That makes sense. All right. I'm going to trust you guys. But if the next one costs more than that, we're going to figure it out, though. We got to burn through those a lot quicker. And we have a little bit more canola to bring over here, actually. So let's go get it. And the other 22,000 getting dropped off here. And so we'll see how quickly they go through this. And boop. And I'll spend a little bit of time probably in between videos figuring out how the improvement is. And I might actually load some of this up on another map to know for sure. But we are going to have over 80,000 liters of canola in here, almost 90, and 65 sunflowers still to burn through. Let's go ahead and shut that off for now. We're going to come over here. We're going to check the prices of lettuce. I don't know if we'll get out of debt still, but I think we might. Oh, we're close. We are close on lettuce. All right, taking our first load of lettuce over. And I think we're going to make it about 2 hours later. And we do need to get some diesel while we're over there, but we'll get this first load sold. Got to go super slow so we don't tip this over. And 64,000 liters per trip. We have, you know, over 200, almost, I think it was almost 300,000 to sell. So it's going to be lots of trips here as well. This should get us close to $1 million and comfortable enough to pay off the line of credit. We'll look at that once we get to the dollar amount. Pretty jam-packed winter here. Nope, nope, nope. All right, let's see what each trip's going to bring in. $212,000. Guess this diesel won't hurt that bad. $367 worth. Cruising in with the last 500 of the day. We are almost at $1 million. I want to see that dollar amount hit $1 million here. Just over. We know what's next. Make a phone call, make a payment, pay in full. And we have $14,000 left over. So we'll try to make a little bit of cash here and there between the next few months for operational costs. But I wanted to get that line of credit paid off so we're not getting hit with any more details. Any more interest, my goodness. Let's head on in. It's time to start moving our equipment to our new property and and get to know it a little bit. Now that we own this property, I think I'm missing a mod that builds a fence around this, because this is for cows. So I'm going to take a look on itch and see what mod that is for the fences. But boy, we got the silo here, which I'm not 100% sure how it works, but we will test it out when the time comes. And this looks like a bale loft auto load, but we can use that to park in if we need to. I assume this opens. Open the gate. Yep, do that. So we can pull through there and put some stuff in there if we need to. We'll take a look at the house in a minute. Nice shed here. It's only going to open halfway, or do we have to open this door separate? Nice. Okay, we can fit some equipment in there. Oh, a little side too, right there for some more equipment. And then this right here. All right. I think we just start moving things around. I think this will be a good spot for this trailer. And yeah, so there's, I think a fence is supposed to be right here, and which would prevent the issues that we're having with auto drive earlier on. Boy, this equipment might be too big for these sheds. I think the roller's gonna have to live right here. I think I need the bigger tractor for some of this equipment to move it around. I was hoping this isn't too tall. It is. Oh man. We'll find another spot for this to hang out. I think right behind these bins for now, unfortunately. And that's a nice home for the planter there. Let's go get the seeder as well and the rest of the equipment. Just slowly moving on over here. See if we can sneak this next to the planter. Yeah, looking good. That'll work right there. Now the height here is going to be an issue to put the combine away, isn't it? Yeah, we might be looking into some of our own sheds long term. Yeah, I think I need to think through a little bit here, but let's go ahead and head on in. Let's see. I don't know if we can even go in this house. I would be shocked if we couldn't. Yeah, nice garage here. We're going to have to get our own truck. Probably have a route away in the house here as well. So yeah, we can open that door. Then we have a little, probably a water heater or something could go there. And oh, look at that carpet. It's nice old school. This would have been perfect for old school survival. Look at the piano. Little kitchen here. Do our laundry. Change our clothes. Nice. Nice layout. I don't see a bed icon or a sleep icon. Turn on lights. Nice. But it works. Much better than a tent. Oh, we can just walk through it. Okay, I see. Nice, some firewood out here. A grill. Little place to eat. Yeah, I just don't see the sleep trigger. But we'll figure that out. I think this is a good place to leave you guys. Figure out exactly what we want to do with this property. If we're going to sell some things off or if we're going to keep it as is. But yeah, it's been a fun one. Socks way up. Thanks for hanging out as we finish year 4 of our 10-year, 1 million liter oil challenge. I'll catch you on the next episode.